In this week's channeled messages from the guides, we talk about addressing issues from the source and not just from where they are now. If you don't take them down to the foundation, then you're going to be building on something that is already cracked and already not working. You're just going to be building more of the same that is not stable and is not benefiting the whole. As you start clearing some of this darkness that's coming up, you're going to start noticing that things are bothering you more than they used to before. Now, this doesn't mean that any of that actually changed. It's just you're recognizing the truth that might have been hidden before. You're starting to recognize that this is not working for who I want to be or where I want to go. And that's okay. You need to come not from a place of fear as this darkness is rising up, because all that is it's the truth coming to light so that it can be cleared and it can come more into alignment with where we want to take things next. If it did not come out into the light, then we would not know it's there and it would continue to be there in the background, wreaking havoc. So, as you start to clear these things, your perspective is going to shift and you're going to want something that's a little bit different. Now, some of this darkness is going to try to pull you back into like a negative mindset and a negative place. So, if you're noticing that the outside world is pulling you into negative thought forms, then you need to turn within and start working on what you can work on within yourself in order to see what you want to see in the outside world, because it all starts with your mindset and what you're doing with your time and your energy and where you're putting your focus. So let's just get into the reading, and I hope you enjoy. The journey is not about trying to wrap your head around these nonlinear concepts and events to physically prepare for them. The journey is about turning inward, finding your strength, finding out who you truly are, and harnessing your power and resolve. You must learn to let go of your need to understand for a means of control. You must let go and learn to be at one with the universe and the natural flow of things. That is part of what is being adjusted, getting the planet back into its natural state of flow and alignment, finding the Earth's balance, then balancing yourself with the new path that creates. If the planet is not in alignment and working correctly with the universal flow, and you are biologically part of the planet, then you are also not in alignment. The source issue must be fixed first, then the trickle down as all things find their way back to how it should be. Think of it as your human body. If your natural state should be good posture, but it's not, then you must fix what is not correct. So, the earth would be your spine. You must get that corrected and straightened out first, then the muscles and ligaments, until you work your way out to changing your habits that were promoting the bad posture in the first place. You start with the first shift and then work to align everything else and set new defaults and habits to get you back to what should have been. This fix then becomes the catalyst for a multitude of other changes and shifts that you weren't even aware were affected by the original problem. This is because you got used to accepting and working around the issue. This is an opportunity for a clean slate, for things to be fixed on a much deeper level to allow for optimal performance and realignment of efforts. You can either get excited about it and help push for the changes, or you can come from fear and try to hold on to what is clearly no longer working and has gotten to a breaking point. Though most can see the possibilities and know this is a benefit, there are others who find security in what's familiar, as they are used to things being how they are. They have mastered and taken advantage of the issues and know that if there aren't any issues, they will lose the power they felt they earned and give them an advantage, even if it's at a detriment to the whole. They have free will to choose to stay broken, but you also have the free will to choose to see what's on the other side if you are open to accepting change. Change also means letting go of what isn't working, even if it requires trust and faith that you will land on your feet when you walk away from that which you view as security. There are other ways to feel secure, other methods to get similar results, but with better circumstances. But you must be ready and you must allow. Otherwise, you will continue to be where you are, still fighting the same lower vibrations you have been. Find the balance between the 3D grid and living in higher vibrations. Find a way to be in those higher vibrations more often. If you see something is keeping you low, ask yourself why, and if it is something that you can change out or what is preventing you from doing so. You will need to release things to change dimensions. The unknown time frames can't be used as an excuse for no longer moving forward. Though you don't understand or know when the split will occur, you still have to do the work towards it. Have some faith and ask questions as things come up. Find solutions different than how you would normally handle something. You are still trying to solve your 3D problems with 3D solutions. You need to look for 5D solutions to remove the 3D problems. Listen to your intuition in regards to timing and what makes sense to keep you on your path and able to focus on what you need to focus on. Completely dismantling to the point of being homeless, unable to feed yourself, in hopes that the shift will happen to provide a solution to resolve the consequences of your actions is not a solid game plan. You are still in the system, but do find a solution headed towards your destination, not further embedded into the 3D drama. Are you able to start promoting your joy and your gifts? Are you able to balance your time and take breaks when you need to? Can you shift to acceptance, remove the negative energy, and find joy in where you are in each present moment? You need to be the change that you want to see. You need to control your thoughts and manifest your new life. You are able to do so much more than you realize. You just need to have faith and be aware of what you are doing. You aren't being dragged into the future, you are co creating it. So be aware of what you are doing and ensure it's for the greatest good for yourself and the collective. It's time to shift away from ego driven futures and move towards connection and love based communities. It can't always be about trying to be better than someone else or accumulating things while others are in lack. If you have more, share. If you see someone in need, help. This is not to say allow others to take advantage, but teach what you know so that others can rise up and come back into their power. The universe is not in lack, it is of abundance. Lack is created by societies and mindsets being used to keep others down while the few control things and prosper. You must come back to your power and remind others of theirs. You all have the ability to be abundant, to have whatever you need or want taken care of. That dream has just gone dim, but it can shine once more. Don't fear the future or what is happening in the world. View this as an opportunity to reset what isn't working and find a better path forward, one that is about inclusion, not seclusion. You must realize that how it is not the only way things could be. You are a catalyst for change. Show yourself and others what is possible. Build a better future. It all starts with you. Learn to recognize what you are putting out into the world. Where do your thoughts go? What do you believe? How do you interact with others? You must make the shift into what you want to see and lead by example. You are more capable than you realize. Break out of your shell and explore what is possible. You were never meant to be small. Those constraints were put on you by outside forces. You can remove them at any time. Once you realize you are free, show others that they are too. Lead by example, and others will follow. Find your joy and follow it. You were meant to be happy. Find what that means and let it lead you into a new way of living. You must shift into the light and not get drawn back into the darkness. It will continue to get dark as it fights for its place on this planet. It feeds on fear and chaos, so you must rise above whatever is happening in the outside world and turn within when you need to regroup or need to be reminded of the light. This is a battle, so to speak. The darkness plays dirty. You must acknowledge and be aware of yourself, your thoughts, and your actions to ensure you aren't being drawn in. The shifts are still occurring. They affect the planet and its inhabitants differently. Things will be in flux for a while as codes are being integrated and the collective is choosing which direction they want to go. You must do the same. Find your tribe and help be a beacon of light to help usher in the new dawn. Prove that there is hope and strength in numbers as those being awakened start looking for answers. Teach them how to go within. Teach them how to recognize the light and their strength. It's one person at a time and only when they are ready. You can't force the truth on anyone who has not come there on their own yet. It must be their choice, their journey, their decision. You can show them the path, but they still need to walk it themselves to get to the destination. Work on adapting to the changes as they occur. You must incorporate and accept the changes and new frequencies to receive the most benefit from them. It's going to feel weird or off as your body is getting used to something new that it is not used to. When you are used to being drugged down to low vibrations, staying in the higher ones for long periods of time is going to feel strange. It's not your normal routine. This does not mean one is right or wrong, it's just an adjustment to something that is not your default setting. Being calm in the chaos is also an adjustment. It does not mean that you are complacent or don't care. It just means that you are able to regulate yourself and become the observer, not the participant in what is happening around you when it is not a vibration that you want to be a part of. This is a strength, not a weakness. Don't let others who don't know how to do this for themselves or have expectations on how they feel that you should act or respond influence you. Your peace of mind is your domain and your power. You get to choose if you want to experience peace or drama and allocate your time and energy accordingly. The calm and inner peace can feel uncomfortable if you aren't used to allowing yourself to be in it. The question you must ask yourself is, why don't you allow yourself to feel safe or at ease? Why do you feel the need to be busy, doing something, as if being relaxed is a negative thing? As these transitions are happening, it's time to ask questions, release, and heal. You are feeling how you feel for a reason. Accept the new feelings, but also heal what is coming up, saying this is not correct. There is still transition happening inside you as things are releasing. Be gentle with yourself and don't assume something is wrong with you or you need medication. Let your body settle into its new vibration and its new way of being. Learn acceptance instead of control. You don't need to control everything. You are allowed to just be in the moment, and that is enough. You are enough. You are more than enough. Accept and love yourself during this time. You are still in a state of chaos before the calm. The goal is to go into yourself and allow the outside to be whatever it is. You get to choose to not allow it to affect you. You get to choose peace and calm instead of joining the chaos. You are in charge of your reaction and what you allow to disrupt your day, even if you view it as a disruption. You can't control the masses, but you can choose to be on a higher vibration or frequency so they can't affect you. Accept what is happening in the world. You might not like what is happening, but you can acknowledge that this is manifest currently and view it as a spectator, not a participant. It does not need to be a battle. If you don't participate, then you aren't joining the lower vibration or trying to control what needs to happen to clear the board so that new energy can come in. Sometimes something is so unstable that you have no choice but to knock it to the foundation to prevent somebody from trying to build it back up the same way. You need to start with a clean slate to build better, new, more stable. You must allow the fall to make room for the new to start. Learn to come into acceptance. This is happening. This is where we are. You are a part of history in the making. Notice how everyone reacts to things. Notice the consequences. Look for the helpers in the light. Look for those trying to build better or shift the vibration. You get to choose the dark or the light. Which one are you gravitating towards? Be patient. Change takes time and there is a lot to process. Focus on what internal personal shifts you are seeing instead of the outside world. You must change within to affect the world outside of you. So focus on that. What are you noticing in your transformation that can be used to help the greater whole? Notice what bothers you and where it stems. As you transition into higher frequencies, the nuances of the 3D societal structures will seem more of a burden as you realize it was created to make life more difficult, bring vibrations down, create lack, and create revenue for unnecessary organizations and companies. The needs of these constraints fall away as you recognize their benefits are not coming from a place of love and connection, but greed and opportunity. You don't have to continue to support a system as its motives and its truths start to become clear. This is just more of the darkness coming into the light to be fixed and adjusted. Your blinders are coming off. You'll start to recognize and see things more clearly as your attachment to them is broken. It's difficult when you are deep in the system and view it as a means for survival, to recognize what it really is and why it was created. The original concepts might have had good intentions, but there are always those who would take advantage and try to find gain in something that was for the masses. It's the intent of some that took great ideas and turned them into constricting systems to impoverish others and raise the few. Just be aware and recognize when something agitates you that might not have before. Dig into the whys. You are likely to find that it is the veil lifting and your ability to see the truth is coming into play and shifting your perspective. You can now see the darkness for what it is when you shine your light to it. Accept that there is nothing wrong with your perspective shifting. This is just you coming to terms with the matrix in the game that you have been playing. You can't end the game or change the rules until you recognize what's really happening below the surface. Give yourself grace during this realization. Release the darkness as it comes up, and just know once it comes to the light, it must be addressed. Just keep shining so that others can see as their blinders are lifted. Together, change will start to come. You must be vigilant in keeping track of your thoughts, what vibrations they are in, and what you are creating. As the veil is getting thinner, the time between thoughts and manifestations will become shorter. You must recognize what you are creating and which vibration you are operating on. Awareness is key if you are to produce the results you want. Your past, future, and present are interconnected. You must resolve one to change the other. You must release the darkness from your past to see light in your future. You must recognize in the present to resolve your past. Patterns and deep seated emotions are going to continue to come to the surface to be cleared as the karma and dharma are being resolved in this purge of darkness. You must pay attention and let things run their course of being felt, incorporated, and released. You must do your part to help in the process. This is a co creation, not a takeover. You are still in control of where you land at the end of this transition. So make sure that you recognize how you are spending your time and what your mind is creating. Give yourself grace as your body is incorporating all that is happening. If you need rest, take it. If you need time in nature, find a way to make that happen. Your body is being activated to help you through these times. So listen to what it needs and what it is telling you. If anticipation is causing stress, then shut down social media and focus internally on your part and what you need to work on. Everyone is at a different point with what they can handle and what they need to work on during this transition. As much as some are able to be excited, some see the same things as overwhelm. Work with where you are at this time. It does not mean that you have more work to do than others, it's just different work to do. This is a time to do the inner work. This is a time to raise your vibration and hold that light. You can't do that if you are worried about what messages are coming out and what everyone else is doing. Find what is affecting you and where, and adjust accordingly. As these activations are coming up, the clearing will look different for everyone. So, what might trigger you is going to be different as well. Again, it's not right or wrong, it's just clearing in what is holding you back so that you can move forward as a clear channel, able to hold the light and information and keep that higher vibration. And the bigger story is causing you anxiety, then focus on the smaller part of the story, which is yourself and your personal journey. Take the time you need. The outside world will keep doing what it's doing. It's not your concern. Focus on what is happening within. We'll let you know when you need to be aware of anything else. Thank you, and I will see you next week.